Where do I even begin? Despicable Me has been on a downward spiral since what it feels to be the beginning of time. And yeah, there's only one reason they keep the franchise going. But if Despicable Me was on a downward spiral, where did the downward spiral start? Well, it sure is convenient you clicked on this video that said how Despicable Me fell off. Despicable Me has to be one of the most underrated films to ever exist, because I feel people always forget about the man, the myth, the legend himself, Vector.
Committing crimes with both direction and magnitude. Oh yeah!
I might do an entire video on why Vector is great, but one of the more obscure reasons, right? The first scene he appears in, he's being funny and goofy and all that stuff. Fast forward to the next scene and now he's being a threat while stealing the shrink ray from Gru. Then he's being funny doing whatever this is. Then he's being a threat. Then he's being funny. I could honestly do an unironic review on why Vector is great, but I think I'm just gonna keep it at that. Also, the plot is really tightly written, it's very clever, and every scene manages to further the plot in some way, or being funny, which I can't say about this. This movie also has some of the best score ever. Hans Zimmer was really trying hard along with Will Ferrell. Listen to the Minions theme. The only real drawbacks to this otherwise masterpiece is the plot hole of why do the girls still need to sell cookies? Like why? Good movie ranking 9 out of 10, entertainment ranking 10 out of 10. Despicable Me 2 is really just minion shenanigans, and minion shenanigans, and minion shenanigans. And compared to the first movie, there's so much more minions than needs to be, and you can't really be telling me that the fucking purple minions further the plot that much. I will admit, the first third of the movie or so was really good at furthering the plot, it created it, it was just the most enjoyable part. But the next 2/3, it was just mostly filler. What did the scene where Gru going out for dinner with that random girl wearing a wig have to do with anything? What? It just happened. The only remaining theme from the first movie is the epic when Gru does that epic. And yeah, I know it has the Minions theme, but that's get cut in half, so I don't really care. And the relationship with Gru and Lucy is kinda believable, but also kinda not. It's slightly confusing. And now for the moment you've been waiting for. The man, the myth, the obese fuck, El Macho! Yeah, he does jack shit. Nothing else for it. He rides a shark into a volcano. You think that'll mean he does something? No. He does jack shit. Dr. Nefario made the minions purple. He really did do nothing until the climax. I guess he appeared trying to hunt down Gru and Lucy for a relatively reasonable reason. You'd think he'd do more considering he was this epic guy, but no. He's a really good idea and then he's just used terribly. The only reason they made him so that he could say,
Oh yes! Fire's live check! Never seen one before? No, you haven't, I invented it.
and then he didn't. There are some positives to this movie though, I will give it that, Happy, for example, by Will Ferrell. That is objectively great. Also, the first act is great, sets up a load of plot, apart from the lipstick taser, apart from when Gru says it, that's just kinda epic. And the whole AVL thing actually seems like something reasonable in this world, considering there's so many fucking villains. But you kinda wonder why it has them, when all of the villains are really fucking incompetent, as you'll See you in a sec. Enjoyable rating 4 out of 10, good movie rating 6 out of 10. This movie is so adamantly shit, I found it on YouTube. Shout out to Nathan Slater TV. Maxime Lamal is such a annoying and boring bozo who barely does anything throughout the whole fucking story. Why did they make this choice? Choice? I never could have guessed! Man, imagine being so pissed off with someone for stealing your fucking dance song in a school show? And speaking of toys, oh golly gosh, do they have a lot of shitty marketing characters. Fancy wheelchair lady, toys! The Mega Minions, toys! Half the movie is filler this time, but it's not like the first act isn't filler. Imagine being a member of Illumination, the guy who created this shitty piece of shit. Would you feel proud of yourself making a shitty cash grab, fucking Fantastic Four knockoff version of... I don't even know what this movie's like, it's just that bad. It's not like there's any notable music either, right? I mean, I guess Double Life is okay, but it's definitely the worst of the songs Will Ferrell has made for each of the Despicable Me movies. The characters also lost every sense of personality they ever had, other than Lucy being annoying Facebook mom. The girls, it's not like they have any personality whatsoever. It's like they exist now. Yippee! We can make filler subplots about them. Excellent. We can do that with more characters in Despicable Me 114. The dialogue is nothing special. I mean, it never was in any Despicable Me movie. I guess there were a couple of good lines in the first one. Of course, I'd say that. But, they could have tried something. A joke about the fact that Maxime is a cockroach. The movie is also just boring as shit for me. But, seriously, there's nothing going on. Whoopee, they're gonna play tennis. And then it just suddenly jumps into the final battle. What? The fact that I found this movie on YouTube really tells a lot about its quality to me. So yeah, I guess that's kind of me. In conclusion, yeah, I ought to think that the main reason for Despicable Me falling off is probably the over-merchandisation of it. You might think it's because they just realized the Minions were profitable, but no, they knew the Minions were popular. And I mean, looking at the other filmography of Illumination's early projects, yeah, I think they just did that movie to gain clout about them being a good animation studio and it's unique. They just tried it to give them a better reputation, and it seems to have worked. This is also why the Mario movie was good, because they thought, okay, the clout of Despicable Me has clearly ran out. We got to actually try and make a good movie this time. That's what they did. It's actually probably the same case with The Rise of Gru, so that's why they had 2 good movies there. Kinda good movies. And then they stopped. I think that's their business strategy. And yeah, they're pretty smart at that. Anyway, that's the movie done. I'm so glad I don't have to watch Despicable Me 4 again, hopefully, for the purposes of viewing. I am not doing it again, do not ask me. Epic outro time.